Hello everyone, today we want to share with you our investment strategy for Chevron and Nextra Energy based on their valuation and ESG risk. Let's move to the first part, business overview of two companies. For Chevron, it is mainly responsible for exploration, development crude oil and natural gas, and refine them into petroleum products. For Nextra Energy, the company generates electricity through wind, solar, nuclear, and natural gas facilities. Compared to their business, we can find that Nextra Energy focuses on generating renewable electricity, and Chevron are mainly focused on traditional energy. Their business operation influence their ESG risk and opportunities. Next slide, please. For Chevron, its ESG risk include liability risk from litigation due to production and transportation of hazardous materials, or government action related to greenhouse gas. Also, increasing attention to ESG may also impact its business. Its ESG opportunity is next slide. The opportunity relies on its lower carbon action, energy efficiency, and transparently disclosure of its risk and acquisition. Next slide, please. For Nextra Energy, its risk focus on numerous environment laws, regulation to greenhouse gas, emission, nuclear generation risk, and disrupted natural gas, nuclear fuel, and so on. Next slide, please. Its opportunities relies on its energy efficiency, its clean and renewable source electricity, and other factors. Compared with Nextra Energy, Chevron has a higher ESG risk in environment and governance. But as the Chevron acquisite renewable energy group, it is expected to grip both traditional and renewable energy market, which will give it more ESG opportunity in the future. Then let's welcome Guilin to introduce valuation for Chevron.
Thank you. Now I will talk about the valuation for Chevron. The company has a stable cash flow and a mature business model, so we select DCF valuation to calculate the company's stock price. Now we're starting with the revenue growth. The average of 5-year and 10-year revenue growth is 6%, but the company has a good performance recently, so we choose 8% as the revenue growth. And cost, depreciation, capital expenditure, adjusted working capital is the percentage of the revenue. And we're using CAPM formula to calculate the return on equity, which is 10.71%. And also get the 3 30-year corporate bonds from the company and get the average of year to maturity, which is 4.59%. And then get the WACC, which is 9.57%. And then using the equity value divided shares outstanding to get fair price, which is 185.88, which is higher than the market price. And then we do the sensitive analysis. As we can see, there is no big changes when the revenue growth goes higher or goes lower. Now, welcome Yuliang to talk about the Nextra Era's valuation.
Thank you. Well, this is valuation for NEE. For terminal and next 5 years revenue growth, we assume that they are 0.5% and 1%, which will be further adjusted in sensitivity test. For expenses, the 5-year and 10-year average proportion of revenue is 74%. The depreciation percentage is 21%. For capital expenditure, we get minus 38.4%. This means that the companies rely on debt for capital expenditures. For adjusted working capital, we end up with minus 10%. We collected 30 years bounce rate, then assume that the company's debt cost is near 6%. According to our DCF model, the fair stock price should be 77.55, which is lower than the market stock price at December 2. Next slide, please. Again, we have done sensitivity test and can see that the prices are not very stable. 0.1% increase in terminal growth rate may lead to like 2 increase in stock price. Also, same case between WACC and the revenue growth rate. Our conclusion. Well, about our portfolio, we should long 1 CVX and short 2.145 NEE. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us. Thank you.